Well, hello, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for giving me a week off so I could just get my act together with the holidays and family and friends, et cetera, et cetera. Had a real nice holiday, but I miss teaching. So this is a short little video, just a couple minutes long, to let you know that the next teaching will come next week. Who knows? Maybe Wednesday. I'll get it up, and I'm very excited about what I'll be teaching about. I'm pretty sure it's a topic that most of you are not familiar with at all. As a matter of fact, most Christians aren't familiar with it all, but it's a very important part of our Christian heritage. And again, we're still in this second, third, and fourth century because so much is happening. So, what I want to do in our next session is talk to you about the Desert Fathers. Now, we've been talking about the early church fathers, but here's another group of them called the Desert Fathers. These are the men and women who lived monastic lives, lived by themselves, and spent the time in prayer, writing, meditation, sharing their faith with anyone that would come out to visit them. Quite fascinating group of people. And this was the monastic life in the middle of the third century, fourth and fifth century. And we're going to be looking at people like Paul of Thebes or Thebes. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Thebs is probably one of the first ones. The greatest known church father is Antony or Anthony. Either spelling is correct. And he's an amazing person. St. Augustus, no. St. Athanasius wrote a whole book about him that I have. I'll show you to you next week about this great fellow. But we're going to be looking at other people such as Pachomius and Basil of Caesarea, also known as Basil the Great. You remember we talked about him. He's one of the three Cappadocian fathers. We're also going to look at John Cassian and Abba Poemen. Abba, and a number of them were called that name, Abba. But Poemen, Poeman, he's probably the most quoted of the fathers. Jerome, that you're familiar with, he's a desert father as well as desert mothers, women who took this vow of well, I'm sure celibacy as well, but of living out in the desert, monastic lives. The one woman in particular is Syncletia, I believe you might pronounce it, of Alexandria. There's also Simeon the Stylite, and that sounds like a singing group from the 1960s, the Stylites. But a Stylite was a pillar, and you had people like Simeon and others that lived. Simeon lived 37 years on a small platform on top of a pillar. And that's where he did his meditating. People would bring food, he'd rope it up to them and down, and that means everything else. Well, we'll find out about it. And we'll talk about our own pillar sitter that we had down in the parking lot back in 1979, 1980, when he first came down here. He was a pole sitter trying to break the record. He might have done so. He was on the property of Jersey Jim Towers, which is now where Sam's is, and one of the families from the countryside are the owners of Jersey Jim. We'll tell you all about that story, next week. Anyway, fascinating stuff, and I know it sounds kind of goofy that they live out there, but these were very, very holy people that teach us much about self-sacrifice. That's what we're going to look at next week. So rustle up your friends and family to gather around the YouTube, to watch us learn some interesting things. So I look forward to doing that. And any questions or comments, just get back with me as soon as you can, okay? All right, God bless you all. See you soon. Bye now.